Hi everyone, it's Elle from everydayelle.com, and today I wanted to show you how to use a pop-up plugin and to use code from your MailChimp to track how many people are subscribing or clicking on your subscribe buttons on your blog. So if I am on my website, this is my website, and I go down here, I have a subscribe button. And if I click on it, I will get this pop-up box. And so this is just a nice way to have a pop-up box on your blog for newsletter subscriptions. You can use it for other things, but I'm going to use it for newsletter subscriptions today using MailChimp. AllieRand.com has a very detailed post on her blog, which I will link to in my own blog and on this video in the description. And you can read her blog. She has a very thorough post about it, but she uses a different subscription service than I do for her emails, so I wanted to show you specifically how to use it for MailChimp. So the first thing that you want to do is to install the plugin. It's called Pop-Up Maker. So if I go down to plugins, I already have this installed. Gotta find it here. So it's called Pop-Up Maker, and I'll have a link to this as well on my blog post. And if I have room, I'll also add it onto the YouTube if I remember to do that. So it's called Pop-Up Maker, and you just install it and activate it. Once it's activated, you need to go to your dashboard and click on Pop-Up Themes. So I have too many links on my sidebar. It's sometimes hard to find everything. So here I have Pop-Up Themes. So we'll be using this all pop-ups, pop-up themes, and I'm going to use Lightbox. You can choose to use any of these settings in here if you don't like the Lightbox theme that I'm about to use. This is just a theme. I like things to be a little clean, and so I'm going to go in here and edit this Lightbox theme. So you can edit the settings in the Lightbox however you want. I'll leave a screenshot so you can see exactly how I have mine set up, but yours will not show this thing. This is actually a different plugin with rich snippets, and it won't show up on here, but the other settings on here will be on here. So I have it set at 60%, and this is kind of how I have it set up. I'm just scrolling through so you can see it. The family, I used my own theme, but I'll leave a picture of this on the blog so you can see that as well. So once you have that all set up, you just hit the save button over here. I didn't do anything to it to make any changes, so I'm just going to go back to actually I'm going to go into my MailChimp account because I'm gonna actually go back to all pop-ups first, and then I'm going to go into my MailChimp account, and here's my dashboard. If you click on the lists button at the top, this is my newsletter subscription. And if you go into sign up forms and then click on embedded forms, don't go into the general forms or the subscriber pop-ups, but into embedded forms and click on the select button. So this is the area that you can start editing what fields you would like to have in your form. Mine, I have a first name and an email address. So you can choose to show all these fields, or you can choose to show only the required fields, which would be an email address. I like to have a first name and an email address. You can include a title if you want. There's also a place on the pop-up that you can put a title, so if you want to take that off, you can. If you don't want any, if you want it just to be really simple, you can unclick all these. So really all you want to be showing is this. I might actually have the show required field indicators on mine. And then you're just going to go and select it and then right click on it with your mouse and hit copy. And now we're going to use this in, I'm just reading my next step here. So yeah, I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to actually add a new pop-up. So I added this test pop-up here, but you can click on add pop-up. I'll just do another one. And I like to name these with, if it's a lead magnet, I might put LM for lead magnet. Or if I'm going to put it on a post, I might just put post and then say like subscription or newsletter subscription or something like that. But for this purpose of this video, I'm just going to write test one since I already used test. And then this line here is where you could put a title if you want. So I'll just say that, get freebies. So once you have that in there, then you want to go into this box and make sure you're on the text box and not the visual box. And then right click and put paste as plain text. So it will be in there. And then let's see. Underneath where it says trigger, you want to select the trigger that says click open. And then just leave this alone and hit add. And then go down to the size and select small. And for max width, you can put 700. Let's see, and then I leave that alone. And I go down to close settings and I toggle these on because I want it to be easy for anyone to close the box if they need to. And then as far as the sidebar goes, you don't need to worry about the conditions. This box here is if you want to reset how many times, this will show how many times this box has been clicked or opened. And so you could reset it if you click this here. But we need to make sure we set the default theme to Lightbox or whichever one you chose here. And then we're going to publish it. So now if you go back to all pop-ups, you'll see these CSS classes here. So this is one with a number on it, and then there's another class that has just the name that you named it. And so you can pick whichever one you want to use. You don't have to use both of these classes. This is just two different options that you can use. So after that, you're going to want to find the page that you want to post this on, or the post. If you want to do it in a post, you could easily put this in a post. So let's do that. Let's go. Now again, you need to make sure like your pop-up, you remember what the name of it was. So I'm going to just go back here because I forgot the name. So I have pop-up make test 1. So whatever yours is the one you're going to want to take note of. So then I'm going to go back to my posts. I'm going to find a post that I don't have a button on. Let's try, I'll try this one. So again, you're going to want to make sure you're in the text version of this, not the visual, because if you try to paste the code in there, it won't work very well. So I'm just going to go down to the bottom. And I'm going to put this code in. It's A href equals the pound key, class equals your class name in quotes, and then you can do click me. And let's see what that looks like. Well, I do have a button here already, so that kind of looks tacky. But it would look like this. So it would just be a text link. Let's say you wanted a button like I have up here, but you want it to open and be a pop-up. So if I do click on this right now, I'm going to get a pop-up. So that's what I wanted. But let's say I wanted to turn that into a button instead of a link. Then we can change this. So we'll leave the pound key there and put class, and we'll put, so my blog has a class, CSS class called teal button, which Allie Rand set up for me. Thank you, Allie. And then, so you put the class, you might have to go and find that if you don't know what it is. So I have mine set as teal button, and then pop make test 1 is the name of the class for the pop-up that I just made. And so I'm going to have it do that instead. I'm going to have it be a teal button. So let's see what happens when I update this. So now we get a teal button. And if I click on it, I get this. Now I'm going to test this out, and I think I'm going to run into a problem with MailChimp because this happened to me before when I created it. And so I'm just going to subscribe myself. This email address isn't being used. And look at it, I click on the button and nothing happens. That problem can be fixed by eliminating spaces in your MailChimp code. So if you go back to your pop-up, and you go to all pop-ups, and you go to the pop-up you just created. So for some reason, WordPress doesn't like spaces. And I don't exactly know which one it doesn't like, so I'm going to just try to, I think actually it was down here more, so I'm gonna do this. It just doesn't like that it's like indented. So it's kind of tedious. You have to go back and fix all this stuff, but I'm going to try that and see if it works. If not, then I'll have to do it again, but okay, let's try it again. Okay, so that worked. So I eliminated all the spaces, and now it worked, and they can just close out of here. You should actually get, because I put an email address in here that I already tried to use, it's saying this little message in here. But if you have MailChimp, it'll actually do like a screen that will pop up and ask you to, I think it's like a subscription email from MailChimp telling you that you'll be getting an email and you need to confirm your email address. But because I already put this email in before on another pop-up that I had, it's saying I never confirmed my email address. So just click the link and I'll be on the email list. So that's kind of how that works. It's not popping up for me because I used an email I already used. But for you, you should get a pop-up if you're using an email that you haven't used before. So that's pretty much how you do it. I'm going to post a blog about this, and I'll leave a bunch of links in there, and I'll show some screenshots. And hopefully, if you have any questions, you can just let me know. I'll also leave a link to Allie Rand's blog because she has a really detailed post that might also be helpful if you are trying to use the pop-up. So the nice feature about the pop-ups is that you can see how many people have been clicking on it. So I just set this up. I don't have a lot of subscribers right now, but I set this up so I'm seeing who's actually clicking where, and it's kind of nice. So this pop-up, you can also add different things to it to make it more functional. If you want it to be more like Leadpages, they have different integrations, and you can pay for different services. They even have a MailChimp integration if you would like to use that and pay for it. I think it's like $35 a year or something like that. But they have, just a bunch of different things on here that you can check out and try and see if it works for you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me some comments, or you can email me or go to my blog at everydayl.com. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later.